Don't know which Greenland paddle to get? Today I'll share with you 3 paddles from Gearlab Outdoors, the Akiak, the Kalleq and the Ipik. At the end of the video, I'll give you my final thoughts to see which one is the right one for you. If you see my past videos, I think you would already know I call the Akiak my first love. It's what got me started on my Greenland paddle journey, and of course I don't want to stop. I'm going to keep going. The Akiak is what you can say more of an entry-level paddle from Gearlab Outdoors. It is cheaper than the other two, and it is also a little heavier, but still it's made out of carbon fiber. Now what I love about the Akiak is that I feel it's indestructible. I feel like I can use this and bash my brother's head in and it'll still be okay. Now I'm not a violent person, but I'm just saying. Now with the construction, it is a little thicker than the Kalleq as well as the Ipik, but the roundness is actually quite nice because I like the soft edges like this when I put my hand across the blade. This paddle is 830 grams, so it's actually not that heavy compared to other paddles out there. The only option available now is the red, and I believe it's the satin red. The one I have is 220 centimeters. And it is the perfect length for me. I don't want it shorter, I don't want it longer. But I'm sure there are many dealers out there with different sizes available and maybe possibly even other colors. I have to say the Akiak feels very, very solid, very strong and very sturdy. So if you're someone who's a little less careful with your gear, I would recommend the Akiak. Because I know that even if I throw it across the river, across the car park, it would still be okay. But I don't recommend you doing that. The Kalleq is the most popular paddle of the Gearlab Outdoors series, and I can see why. The construction of it is amazing. It feels amazing in the hands. The length I have is 220 centimeters, which is the regular, but I believe they also have the short as well as the long available for you to purchase on their website. There's quite a few colors available and they always have seasonal colors as well, so keep your eyes out for them. If I compare the same length of the Kalleq and the Akiak, it is definitely lighter, and this Kalleq weighs at 680 grams. Some of your viewers might know I went to the Gearlab Outdoors workshop in Taiwan, and it went through every single process of making a Greenland paddle from Gearlab Outdoors. It's amazing the level of intricate detail they go through. They test every little single component. Now the Kalleq compared to the Akiak is slimmer, you can see here, but again some people might not like the edges because it feels a little sharper compared to the Akiak. I do find the Akiak more comfortable around the edges, but then if it's slimmer like this Kalleq, it will cut through the water much more smoothly. Using car analogies, the Akiak is like a Toyota. It's reliable, it's strong, it's sturdy. The Kalleq, I would say, is kind of like an Audi or a Mercedes, people would say. And then the Ipiq is like a Maserati? No, I'm not so sure, but you get the point of my analogy here, so you can put things into perspective. Now, should Kalleq be your first paddle? If you're a person who likes to upgrade frequently, then I would go straight into the Kalleq and skip the Akiak. Because for me, in hindsight, I would have gone straight for the Kalleq and skipped the Akiak. But then again, I didn't know if I was going to love the Greenland paddle. Now let's move on to the Ipiq. The Ipiq is definitely the most premium Greenland paddle from Gearlab Outdoors. It is the lightest. It weighs around 600 grams and it is super, super light. It feels like a feather in your hands. Of course, this paddle is made out of carbon and it is a little differently made than the Akiak as well as the Kalleq. It's a little different where the carbon is kind of like weaved and overlapped in a crisscross kind of fashion, where Gearlab Outdoors told me it becomes structurally stronger. Now what I love about this paddle is that it comes with a soft shouldered loom, which is really good for your hands and it feels very natural. As well as an oval loom where your fingers, when you do this, fits naturally over the loom itself. The length of the Ipiq is 290 centimeters, and it's the only size available and made by Gearlab Outdoors. But for me, 219 centimeters is the perfect length. It's not too short and it's not too long, and I find it the most comfortable. Somewhere around 219, 220 is the right size paddle for me. So now for my final thoughts. So which paddle should you get? I would say if you haven't used a Greenland paddle before and want to try, get the Akiak. It's a reliable, strong, sturdy kayak, and you can decide very quickly if you like Greenland paddling. And after some time, you can always upgrade to the Calleq or the Ipiq or any other paddles out there. The Calleq, I would say, is the all-rounder. It does everything well. The quality you can feel, it's a very different level to the Akiak, and it is much lighter. I can see why it's the fan favorite and the most popular model out there for Gearlab Outdoors. Now, if you really want to spoil yourself and have a different feel from the other two, Akiak and the Calleq, get yourself an Ipiq. I absolutely love it. I love the soft shoulder, and also I love the oval loom. I feel like it's quite different to the Calleq, and again, it's all personal preference on which one you prefer. There are some that prefer the Calleq, and there are some that love the Ipiq. For me, I'm still quite undecided, but I love them both just as much. I hope this video helped. Thank you.